We are still working a couple things out, but we are going to get started and helping get the rest of these people joining onto the chat or onto the call in just a few minutes. So good morning. My name is Jessica Pierce, and we are so excited to have you all here today. We are really working hard this year to connect with people in Arizona and nationally, actually, now that we are in the virtual format. And I just want to tell you guys a little bit about, we revised our vision and mission and what we're trying to do. And our goal over the next 5 years is to reach 1 million new people and be in 15 states. So our goal is really about building a community, a better community, one organization and one career at a time. So Bree, if you could flip to slide 3, I want to talk about we're elevating our communities by empowering not just the job seekers and not just the employers, but also our service providers. We work with a lot of organizations across the board to help people in career transition. All right, and so why don't you guys start with, if you could just jump in the chat. We have some people starting in the chat. If you could just tell us where you're calling in from, and maybe what kind of job or what kind of position you are interested in. And then let's just keep that chat going today. Ask questions, be part of the conversation, be part of the topic with Travis. And so if you could just go ahead and drop in there where you're calling in from, that would be great. And then later on, I'm going to talk a little bit about dropping in your LinkedIn URL as well. So on slide 5, there's some information around where you can locate the chat. That's at the bottom of your screen. Typically, there's a chat icon. And then there's also on your phone, usually there's like 3 dots that you can see, and it's usually in that as well. If you look at your display over on your computer, it's in the top right, you'll see view. And on view, you can display how you want to see the call today. The best way to view it is the side-by-side speaker view. And in that view, you're going to see the PowerPoint presentation and the speaker. If we don't have a PowerPoint slide up, then you'll just see the speaker. So that's the best way to be able to see that today. And then as you're responding here, thank you, Richard or Braden, for putting in Tempe, and then skilled trades is what he's looking for. So if you could also drop in the job type you're looking for, that would be awesome also. At the end of the call today, we are going to have breakout rooms. And so that's a way for you to stay engaged with our speakers and coaches and connect with anyone. You can have some resources. Resume writers will be there. LinkedIn coaches will be in there as well. So on the next slide, it shows you where our closed captioning is. And that, if you need closed captioning today, that is on the bottom of your screen. Just click that. It's live. It's ready for you. And so you can go ahead and see the transcription, the closed captioning as well. All right. So our agenda today, we are going to introduce you in a few minutes here to Travis Harden. And he is going to do Getting My Career Shift Together. And then you'll hear from Gian Boldy on some financial success tips during a career transition. And then we have ADP. Laura Lynn is the division vice president, and she will be talking about ADP and the openings that they have. And then Mark Anthony Brewing out here in the Phoenix area has a distribution center, and Sonia Morgan will be talking about their opportunities. I will close it out at the end for a few minutes, and then we'll launch into breakout rooms. And so that will happen towards the end. And so then you're going to be able to talk to resume writers, LinkedIn coaches, career coaches, a finance coach, all of our speakers. And it's just a really great time to connect with people. So Travis, I am so excited that you are here today. He is a native of the great state of Tennessee. Travis received his Bachelor's of Arts degree from Aquinas College, which is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, in 1999. And as a John Maxwell certified speaker and trainer, he is equipped in aiding your personal and professional growth through a study and practical application of proven leadership methods. And for more than 15 years, Travis has given inspirational speeches for purposeful living, specifically on production capacity, personal and professional growth, overcoming disciplinary challenges, and diversity and inclusion. His self-reflective transparency in speeches and workshops has provided him with opportunities to speak around the globe. Gives me the greatest level of humility to inspire people and demonstrate in practice that all of us can grow and increase our positive influence on this generation and those around us beyond our wildest expectations. He also says, I challenge you to a new season of growth. It begins with your passion to reach new levels. So please help me welcome my good friend, a wonderful keynote speaker, Travis Harden. Yay, our virtual clap. Yay.
Top of the morning. Jessica, I appreciate you for that introduction. Everyone else on the call this morning, greetings to you. I'm asking for one favor because I believe in connecting with you. I see a lot of Photoshops up here, photos from people. I see Mike, it's a beautiful smile on that photo, but I would love to see actual faces smiling. I get it. You may be in a t-shirt, you may have on a tank top this morning. I don't care what you're in. Hey, we're here to have fun and we're here to grow together. Kitty, I see your picture there. I want to see all 32s this morning. I want to see all 32s. I don't want to see a picture. I would love to see all 32s or 15 or 10, even if you have 2 teeth. I want to see those 2, whatever you're working with. I know hey, dental wellness is not that big in the South where I'm from, Tennessee. So I actually know what it looks like to have 1 tooth, but I see people really flexing that 1 tooth. So throughout this presentation, throughout today, this session, I would love to see your smiling faces, regardless of what you have on. Hey, I'm not looking at what you're wearing. I'm looking from the chin up. I just want to see your smile, all right? As we look at where we are, look at you. A lot of you are laughing, you're smiling. I would love to see your smiling faces. As we look at getting our career shift together, I think of a lot of things. I think of previously, our career shift was predicated on a thriving economy. It was predicated on jobs and things being able to be optimistic. I'm going to be honest. I've witnessed too many personal friends, family members, the death of many neighbors, whether it be suicide, whether it be COVID. And it's a tough time right now. I get it, it's tough. In no other time in history, as we made a career shift, has everyone, meaning the whole world, been impacted like we are right now. You and I are in a tough time. But here's the hope. It's going to get better. And we'll outline this morning a few things to help you as you shift through, knowing all the components that I just talked about. A report just came out today. Arizona, for those of you, I saw someone from Baltimore. You said Baltimore, I'm assuming that's Baltimore, Maryland. And if you're calling in from Baltimore, Maryland, here in Arizona, a report just came out today that Arizona is the 7th highest gas price state in the country. 7th highest price. So inflation right now is tough. You can add an additional for the average family of 3 to 4. You can average in an extra $100 to $200 a month because of the inflation, the rising cost of everything that's going on. Thinking about all of these components, Travis, how am I going to shift where I am in my career or in my personal life to growing to much bigger and better? I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. G. Alexander, I'm glad you asked. I see you smiling this morning. Look at you, look at you. She's showing her 32s. She's showing her 32s. Look at her, look at her. Mike, glad to see your face. How am I going to shift? Let's take a look at that. How we shift, and more importantly, how we view, are you a builder or a maintainer? I want you to put in the chat, are you a builder or are you a maintainer? Just put one word, builder or maintainer. Which one are you? Are you a builder or a maintainer? People are like, I don't know what I am. I don't know what I am. Am I a builder or am I a maintainer? Do I maintain happiness? Do I maintain joy? Or do I build for others? I see builders. I see builders. I see a lot of builders. there are four key areas. There are four key areas that we typically live in, and you will be able to identify with one, maybe two of these specific zones that we live in as human beings, as people. The first zone is the coasting zone. The coasting zone. We're dealing with how to shift my career, and are you a builder or maintainer? The first zone is the coasting zone. This is the zone where I do as little as possible. I'm comfortable where I am. I'm doing as little as possible. This is the coasting zone. I'm going to do as little as possible. The second zone that we fall into is the comfort zone. So you have one, the coasting zone. Two is the comfort zone. The comfort zone says, I do what I've always done. I send out I apply for 2 jobs a day. I send out my resume to maybe 2 or 3 people a day. I go on social media and I look for a couple of jobs, maybe for 30 minutes a day. I'm comfortable there. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to do what I've always done. The third zone is the challenge zone. I'm going to challenge you today. The third zone is the challenge zone. And this is where I attempt to do what I've never done before. I attempt to do what I've never done before. I've never spent 3 hours for 5 days in a week, each day. I've never spent 3 hours aggressively seeking the skills trade career that I've been longing for. I've never spent 3 hours. I'll send out a couple things or ask around or make a couple calls here and there once or twice a week. I've never spent and committed 3 hours for 5 days in a single week, meaning I've put in 15 hours aggressively seeking that particular career. I've never done that. That's the challenge zone. And then the fourth zone is the creative zone. This is the ultimate goal. This is the ultimate growth. I attempt to think what I have never thought before. One, you have the coasting zone. 2, you have the comfort zone. 3, you have the challenge zone, meaning I'm going to attempt to do something I've never done. 4 is the creative zone. This is where I'm going to think outside of the box. I'm going to remove the box. I'm going to kick the dang on box down. I'm getting out of the box. I'm getting rid of it. I'm going to think the way or in a way that I've never even thought before. You know what? I'm going to go to conferences. I'm going to attend career opportunities. I'm going to get connected to Jessica and Career Connectors and Bree and the staff at Career Connectors and Joey and all that they're doing. And I'm going to do everything that I can in the next 60 days to make sure that not only my career, but my family's career, if I know neighbors or community members who needs a career bump or career boost or career growth, I'm going to put in my mind that I'm going to think outside of anything I've ever thought before. That's the creative zone, and provide opportunities for not only myself, but for everyone around me. Now you're thinking, that's growth. But how do we get there? How do we get there? That's a great question. We have to unlock the mental blocks. We all have mental blocks that keep us out of the creative zone. Every last one of us. I have them, you have them, we have them. Every person we talk to, we all have mental blocks that prevent us from staying consistently in the creative zone. One of the reasons one of the mental blocks we have, and we have challenges staying in there inside the creative zone, is we tell ourselves we have to find the right answer. We're limited because we feel like we have to find the right answer. I'm here to tell you that more often than not, I proceed without even knowing any of the answers. I learn as I grow, not learn as I go, learn as I grow. Oftentimes people, they set out on an escapade, or they set out on a journey, and they try to find answers as they go. And they just go, they don't grow. They're not doing the things and taking the necessary steps and doing the things that they can to grow. They're not attending virtual seminars, even though they're free. to get better. This is not about just your career. It's about, how do I become a better man? How do I become a better woman? How do I become a better father? How do I become a better mother? How do I become a better citizen? How do I become a better community member? The second mental block that prevents you from being in the creative zone is, that's not logical. I can't do that. That doesn't make sense. It's not logical. That thought keeps us from, that's a mindset that keeps us from the creative zone consistently. A third mindset that keeps us from the creative zone or keeps us limited is follow the rules. I'm going to follow the rules. I'm not telling you to break the law. I'm not telling anyone in here to break the law. Talking about getting our career shift together. I'm not telling you to break the law, but what I am encouraging you to do is I'm telling my secrets. Travis always finds ways to bend the rules. If someone says, to further your career, you need to take one workshop for our organization, or you should follow the rule of you need to take one workshop a month. I'm not going to follow those rules. I'm going to take 3 or 4 in a month. I'll probably do 1 per week, 2 per week, depending on the schedule, because I'm not going to follow the rules. That's a mindset we get into. The industry says I need to do this. The industry says I need to do that. Well, career says I need to. I looked at Career Builder. I looked at this social media website, and the rules say I should do this. Don't follow the rules. Following the rules will limit you from staying consistently in the creative zone. And what did we say the creative zone was? It's our attempt to think what we've never thought before. A fourth thing that limits us from staying in the creative zone is we get the mindset that failure is bad. Failure is bad. And if I can press upon you anything from this morning, from my career, from my life, is that my failures have been the greatest growth moments in my life. When I was going through them, they hurt. It did feel, it was tough, it was challenging. But as I continued to grow, I look back and I learned a great deal. So the mindset of failure is bad. We have to eradicate the movie. What's Will Smith? The movie. Someone blurted out with Breathe. What's the movie with Will Smith where they take the pen and they flash it and you forget your
Men in Black.
Yes, Men in
Men in
Black.
Black. There you go. Men in Black. See, I told you this is going to be a participatory environment. Men in Black. Thank you. Men in Black, where we need to have a Men in Black moment where we take a pen and I'll grab a pen right here. Just take a regular pen and just up and down. I'm not going to have a mentality that failure is bad. Failure is good because it means that I'm trying. Too many people right through this season of pandemic, this season of loss, this season of death. Many of you right now, you've experienced death like no other, whether it be immediate family, relatives. I've lost relatives. I've lost neighbors. My neighbor right next door passed away recently. And we're trying to deal with this. This is a neighbor whose son is the same age as my daughter. They're only months apart. He's literally 62 days older than my daughter. And they've grown up together. My wife and she was pregnant together, and loss. But we can provide hope. We can be the neighborhood hope dealers. You like that? Neighborhood hope dealers. Neighborhood hope, that's with an H. That's with an H. Don't put a D in there. I did not say D. I didn't say dope. I said hope. Neighborhood hope dealers. Changing our thought process. Travis, when I get into this new position, how is this going to help me? Because every single person in this new career that you're transitioning to, or even if you're looking to level up where you are, every single person has been impacted. But if you could be that ray of light, that ray of hope, and get out of those stinking thinking diseases, I call them STDs. I'm not talking about venereal diseases or sexually transmitted diseases. I'm talking about STDs, stinking thinking disease. I'm sliding those things in there. You're catching them. will be much better. And a lot of people are stuck in STDs right now because they're not consistently, and they cannot consistently stay in the creative zone because their mindset is limited by these thoughts. And then people say, I'm not creative. Travis, I'm just not creative. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. If you stay connected to Career Connectors and Jessica and Bree and Joey and all the things that are going on, it will help you to maximize your creativity. We're all creative. But when we collaborate together, our creativity goes to places that we've never thought before. Number 1 zone, the coasting zone. Number 2 zone, the comfort zone. Number 3, the challenging zone. Number 4, the creative zone. And then we just touched on some mindsets that limit us from staying in the specific creative zone, where we expand not only our lives and our careers, but others. Here are some creative principles to really live by. These are creative principles that I'm going to outline now that we can really live by. I do my best to live by them every day. Notice I said I do my best because I'm not perfect. I know many of you are. Hey, I'm talking about me today. This is not about Travis and his failures and his flops, because I failed a lot. I failed many more times than I have succeeded. But I continue to learn and I continue to grow because I have a family that needs me. I have a community that needs me. I have those of you who need me to share. Travis, I saw you did this. It didn't work. How did you get through it? I had hope. I had hope. Creative principles to live by. 1 is build a creative culture. First thing is to build a creative culture. What can you do to build a creative culture? Meaning creativity is around you all the time. What can you do to put a creative culture in your atmosphere 75% of the time? What can you do? It's been said that micromanagement undermines creativity while freedom and flexibility foster it. So if we're micromanaging our own thoughts and saying, I can't do this, I can't do that, and this will be looked upon weird by my colleagues or by my neighbors or by my own family. Sometimes we limit ourselves because of family, because no one else in the family did that. We stop our creativity and we're not living in the creative culture because our family is not creative and they've never done it. So now we think we can't do it. Freedom and flexibility is what fosters a creative culture. Break out of where you've been and get into some creative moments in your life. Have a creative thought tank daily. It could be 10 minutes. It could be 15 minutes. It could be one thought. It could be 5 minutes. But in order to create or to build a creative culture, you have to be intentional. Second way to, or the second principle to learn and to live by is make everything better. Make everything better. Creativity is not the finding of a thing, but making something out of it after it's found. James Russell Lowell said that. James Russell Lowell said that. He said creativity is not the finding of a thing, but making something out of it after it is found. So first you have to create the culture. You have to think of a thing. And then once it's thought, you have to find that. As crazy as that thought may be, I have to go find it. As crazy as the thought may be of finding the career, a career goal right now is crazy, but I need to go find it. And I need to take the necessary steps in a creative culture to go find that thing. That's how I transition from maintaining to building. Number 3, make plans, but look for options. Make plans to grow, but look for options to grow. You made a plan to come and listen to Travis talk about this career shift. You made plans this morning to come on at 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 a.m. if you're in California, 11 a.m. if you're in Baltimore, Maryland, East Coast somewhere. You made plans, but plan for options. Who am I going to connect with while I'm there? Who am I going to connect with? Who am I going to chat with? Who am I going to I can chat with everyone, or I can seek out someone on the side of this side panel right now and individually send a message and say, hey, you said something, or you're in an industry that I'm looking to get into. Let's connect afterwards. Here's my phone number. I'm going to drop my cell phone number. I'm available between this time and this time the rest of today. I do not want tomorrow to come before we connect. That's how you look for options. You had a plan, but we have to look for options. This is good. This is good. This is good. How do I know? Because I see your faces. I see your faces. Your faces are saying, man, he's dropping some golden nuggets, things that I've learned. It has, Travis couldn't think of all this stuff. It's things that I've learned over 20 years now of being in the industry of leadership and development and disciplinary examples within the workforce. It's not just last night I thought of this and I'm going to go before the group and put it. No, this is years. Options. The fourth thing, place high value on ideas. We place high value on what we see and what we can touch and the intangibles, but we need to place a high value on ideas. Place a high value on ideas. Remember, number one, build a creative culture. 2, make everything better. 3, make plans, but look for options. And number 4, place high value on ideas. We're talking about creativity. We're talking about shifting our career. We're talking about what can you do to creatively look for new ideas? What can you do? What websites can you go to? What people can you connect with? And that leads to number 5. It flows right to number 5. How do I create, or what principles do I live by? And number 5 is seek out and listen to. This is one of my biggest advantages in my career and in my business growth. Seek out and listen to different voices. Seek out and listen to different voices. I often share a model that I've used for the last 9 years, where I've built a mentorship team. By show of hands, now you have to come off camera for this. You have to come off camera for this. I want to see your hands. Remember, we showed our 32s earlier. By show of hands, how many of us have a mentor? I want to see hands. I want to see hands. By show of hands, and you can even put the little icon of a hand on the screen. By show of hands, Sandra's like, man, I have a bunch of mentors. Sandra's like, I've got a bunch of mentors. We all need a mentor. The key is we need a mentorship team. I'm not going to go into the full scope of this, but Travis has a mentorship team. Remember, number 5 is seek out and listen to different voices. It's okay to listen to mom, dad, those family members that you've listened to. It's okay to listen to that mentor that you've had for the last year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, but you still need different voices, fresh ideas. Travis has 4 key areas in his life that he lives by. I'm talking in third person. You're like, is he crazy? No, I'm not losing it. But I have 4 key areas. I place a prime value, a premium on my faith, my family, my finances, and fun. Fun meaning travel. I love to travel. And so I concentrate on those 4 key areas. Those are the values for Travis. You may say, Travis, well, that's a good idea. I'm going to adopt that. Listen to this. In each of those 4 categories, I have a minimum of 2 mentors. In my faith zone, or my faith category, talking about different voices, I have 4 mentors. These are 4 individuals in the faith world. They mentor me. Tony Evans being one, John Maxwell being another, these individuals pour into me, and I pour into them from a faith perspective. I go to them only for faith. Travis, do they intertwine? No. I only go to these individuals for my faith growth. I then have 5 mentors in my family zone. Remember, faith, family, finances, fun. 5 individuals that I go to and I talk to about marriage, child rearing, how to navigate our daughter being in club volleyball, club softball, club this, club that. How do I navigate that? Different voices. And then finances. I have 4 individuals that I talk to only about finances, nothing else. Of course, we talk about life in general, but these are individuals that pour into me talking about different voices. I build a mentorship team. And in the fun zone, I have 3 individuals that I can call one of these 3 individuals, and I talk to one individual within one of those zones at least twice a week. And Travis, you may say, Travis, man, because one mentor, they may know a lot about each of those categories, but I want the best of the best in each of those categories. I want people who have done it for many years and have tried and tested. Travis, can they be younger than you? Yes, I'm 45. I have one person in one of my mentors in my financial zone. He's 31. And all he does is finances. He's a financial whiz, this young man. Just a phenomenal individual, and helps me out with investments globally because he's tapped into markets internationally. Again, hearing different voices. I gave that example because I wanted to give you maybe an outline for maybe you growing your mentorship team. And your 4 categories will not be the same as Travis's. It may not be faith, it may not be family, it may not be finances, it may not be fun. Many people say, Travis, you need to add a 5th category, and that's food, because I love to travel and eat. So yeah, I have 4.5 areas. But what's of value to you? What's valuable to you? What's important to you? And you build different voices at each level, and those people pour into you. And another time we'll share the process of onboarding mentors into your life so that you can hear those different voices. That's creativity. I told you this was going to be good. I told you it's going to be good. It's going to get gooder. It's going to get gooder. It's going to get gooder. And if you stick around to the end, you'll get the goodest. Oh man, I love growth. I love growth. Here's another key area as we look at, we've talked about specifically, we've looked at maintaining to creating. Now we want to get into goal-oriented versus growth-oriented. Goal-oriented versus growth-oriented. I'm staying with the outline of what you were given in the syllabus. You're looking like, what syllabus? I didn't get anything. It's just on the agenda. It's on the agenda. Improving yourself is the first step in improving everything else. Improving yourself, talking about shifting the career thought, talking about shifting. Improving yourself is the first step in improving everything else. When did you discover, and you can put a 1 in the chat, you don't have to say when, but if you can acknowledge, I can think back to when I discovered that I needed to invest in personal growth. If you can remember back to, put a 1 in the chat, just type the number 1 in the chat. If you can think back to, you know what, Travis, I remember the day, the week, the month, the year when I thought, you know what, personal growth has to be a consistent thing for me. Personal growth. If you can remember, I see you, Vivian. I see Joey, and Joey's like in college. Joey, that man, that's good. I in college, I didn't quite get it. I was stubborn. I was a little slow to get it. I was a little slow. When did you discover your need to invest in personal growth? It was when I arrived in Phoenix, Arizona, 2007. I met a young man by the name of Leonard. And as I was growing within the speaking industry, this man told me, Travis, you're a great speaker. I thought, man, I could enunciate. My voice, vocal variety was there. It was great. He said, but you need to write your material. I didn't know how to write. Breathe. I had no idea how to write. I was clueless. I just thought speaking was speaking. I could speak well and I could do things. No, I had to grow in areas that would help capture the audience, that I could connect with you. It's not about head, it's about the heart. It's one thing to touch a person mentally. It's another thing to connect at the heart. And that's what hope is all about. If nothing else from today, you leave here saying, you know what, that Travis is one crazy son of a gun, but he's right. We all need to become neighborhood hope dealers, because our neighbors, our families, our community is struggling right now. And it's going to be you and I, it's going to be us that provide that ray of hope to keep someone from falling deeper into that depression, from falling deeper into anxiety, from falling deeper into whatever it is that could lead to catastrophic outcomes. Again, career, personal life, professional life, you name it. You and I, we're going to make a difference. Here's a thought. Goals, Goals, goals helped me to do better, but growth helped me to become better. And it was after talking to Leonard and really understanding I had goals for my life. And Joey talked about in college, I had goals in college. It was after Leonard and he really explaining life to me that I understood, you know what, growth helped me to become better, and growth is helping me to become even better. What is the difference? Listen to this. What is the difference between the doing and becoming in your life? What is the difference between the doing and the becoming in your life? One answer: growth changes. Growth changes. Growth. That's the difference. Growth outward to growth inward. Many of us, we grow outward. Remember, we talked about those 32s. So it may be down to 30 today, or it may be down to 22 or 2. Remember, whatever you're working with. I see that pearly white. I see the pearly whites. Growth outward to growth inward. I need to grow internally. Talking about shifting our career thoughts, getting our career shift together. I need to grow inwardly. How am I going to become a better leader or a better father, mother, man, woman, sister, brother? How am I going to become a better team member? How am I going to become a better owner? How am I going to become a better, you name it. You name it. Growth outward to growth inward. Growth in everything to growth in a few vital things. We have to narrow down our focus on where we're going to go. Remember, I have 4 key areas in my life that I consistently grow in, that I pour constantly into, and people pour constantly into me. Many of us, we get in trouble and we can't really shift our career thoughts, and we can't shift our personal thoughts and personal growth because we're trying to grow in a lot of areas. And it's not wrong. It's just we can be more effective if we go from growing in everything to growth in a few vital things. Here's some key thoughts. Successful people have great attitudes. Successful people have great attitudes. They're growing in not everything, they're growing in a few vital things, and they're laser sharp focused on a few things. And successful people, and you, because you're all successful, the reason you're so successful is because you have great attitudes. You have great attitudes. Successful people have strong relationships. Remember, I talked about the mentorship team, and those aren't the only relationships I have. I have strong relationships, and I know you have strong relationships, but we need to build stronger relationships. This is successful individuals. They have great attitudes, they have strong relationships. I'm not talking about the type of relationship where you can call and say, hey, my day was bad, I just need to vent. I'm talking about a strong relationship where they pour into you. They spend today, the 30 minutes that you're venting, they listen to you, but then tomorrow they call you back and say, hey, I've had time to really think about and process what you shared with me yesterday. And this is what I think. This is what I think needs to happen. Those are strong relationships. If you don't have someone that's going to call and provide feedback after thinking through what you've shared or dumped on them, those aren't strong relationships. Those are just casual associates. You need people who are going to pour into your life and tell you the things that you don't want to hear, but the things that you need to hear. That's good. That's good. And it's gooder. It'll be the goodest here in a moment. It'll be the goodest. Successful people, successful individuals also understand everything rises and falls on leadership. We're talking about getting our career shift together, but the key word is everything rises and falls on leadership. I can't effectively lead only on the job site or only in my career. I have to effectively lead my family. I have to effectively lead my community. I have to effectively lead those around me. When I go to the grocery store later today or to Starbucks, many of you are going to go right after we're done with this session today, and you're going to go to Starbucks, you're going to get your tea or your coffee and all with the 15 different descriptors on the cup, and you're going to drink that tea or that coffee, and you're going to say, man, today was a great day. The key is understand everything rises and falls on leadership. When you go to get that coffee or that tea, purchase one for the person behind you. That's leadership. Have a conversation. Hey, how are you doing? Grow relationships. It rises and falls on leadership. Make sure that we're not just leading in our career, in our profession. We're leading in everything that we do on a consistent basis. That's what successful individuals do. Successful individuals, they understand and they learn how to develop others. You thought today was just going to be about you, and it is. But I'm speaking into the individuals that you're going to be pouring into. Travis, you're getting a little deep on me now. Travis, I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking into the people that you're going to pour into later, because you're going to go back through some of these notes. You're going to go back through some of these golden nuggets that have been poured into me. Hey, I'm giving you things that have been poured into me. And I do not want to be a reservoir where I just selfishly hold on to things. I want to be a river where things flow to me and through me and onto you. And it's going to flow to you and through you and onto someone else. I know that's what's going to happen. I've seen it before, and I know it's going to happen again. Think about this. Growth with a timeline versus growth without a finish line. Think about that. Growth with a timeline versus growth without a finish line. And that's where our minds have to make the shift from how long will this take to complete this certification or to complete this course? How long will this take to how far can I go? How far can I go in this career? How far can I go in this endeavor? How far can I go providing hope to the community, providing hope to my own family, providing hope to those who are hopeless, providing hope to those who are dealing with whatever they're dealing with? How far can I go? And many of us, me included, I get stuck sometimes in the area of how long will this take me? Instead of shifting to how far can I go? I want you to think about for one moment. I'm going to lay out just a chart. I'm going to say left side and right side, and you can write it down or you can go back and watch the replay later. But I'll say left side and right side so you get a clear picture of this. And for those of you taking notes, just make one line and then right on the column, there's going to be 5 areas on the left side and 5 areas on the right side. And as we make this shift, think about the difference between being goal-oriented, having a goal-oriented culture, And then on the right side, a growth-oriented culture. And earlier, remember we talked about creativity. So now I'm going to give you a few answers. I'm going to kind of slide into the syllabus here, some answers for you on how we can go from being goal-oriented or having a goal-oriented culture to a growth-oriented culture. On the left side of your note-taking apparatus there, whether you use an electronic device or writing on paper, look, some of you still didn't show your faces. I still haven't seen all 32 of those teeth. I'd love to see your smiles this morning. The goal-oriented culture on the left side values achievement. I'm goal-oriented. I value achievement. Number 2 under goal-oriented is focuses on status. Number 3 under goal-oriented is honors privilege. Goal-oriented people, they honor privilege. Nothing wrong with it, but if we're going to be effective, we'll go over to the growth side. The 4th thing under goal-oriented culture is emphasizes the teacher. Emphasizes the teacher or the professor or the mentor or whomever. And the 5th and final thing under goal-oriented culture is target is arrival. The target is the arrival. Over on the right side is growth-oriented culture. This is how we transition from, one of the ways we can transition from goal-oriented culture, a goal-oriented culture, to a growth-oriented culture. So on the right side, we have values development. Remember, goal-oriented was values achievement. On the growth-oriented culture side, it's values development. How can we become better? Number 2, under growth-oriented culture, and on the right side, focuses on stretching. Focuses on stretching. Focuses on stretching. Remember, on goal-oriented, it was focuses on status. I drive this, I live here, I live in this neighborhood, I do this, I do that, whatever. Growth-oriented culture says, I'm going to focus on stretching. How can I stretch so that I can do better for those around me? What can I do to grow, to become better? What can be done? Who can I connect with? Who can I talk to? Who can I get to pour into me? What different voices do I need to hear? Number 3, growth-oriented culture honors serving or service. Growth-oriented culture honors serving. Remember, goal-oriented honors privilege. In a growth-oriented culture, I honor serving. Travis, why are you talking about serving? I'm trying to get my career shift together. Go out and serve. Try it. Remember I told you after you go get that tea and coffee, because I know some of you are going to go do it. Serve someone else. Start serving other people. Look for community projects during this down. It's a leadership sad time from all areas of life right now, from government to the faith-based community. We're in a leadership sad culture right now. And a growth-oriented culture, for us to grow, start serving. Start honor service right through here. And I promise you, your career shift will happen. It will happen. Number 4, under growth-oriented culture, emphasizes the student. Remember, goal-oriented emphasize the teacher or the professor or the mentor. Growth-oriented culture emphasizes the student, the persons that I'm pouring into. I'm not going to throw those individuals to the side. In a growth-oriented culture, I'm going to emphasize the listener. I'm going to emphasize those who are looking to grow. It's not all about me. And it's not all about you. It's all about those that you will be pouring into. It's all about the student, those individuals and you will take some golden nuggets from Jessica this morning and take them on to others. Hey, Travis is talking, but it's really Jessica. Jessica gave me all these notes. Jessica gave me the notes. Jessica gave me this to share with the people, to share with the Career Connectors community. Number 5 under growth-oriented culture is target is growth. Remember, was the target on the goal-oriented side. Growth is the target on the growth-oriented side. Wow. 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 With the remaining few minutes, we'll look at Travis. We've gotten a lot of good information, but just how do I learn, unlearn, and relearn this information? How do I do that? What does that look like? You're sharing this information, but what does it mean to continually learn, unlearn, and relearn? My mother used to tell me all the time before my college days, Joey, that son, if you want to become better in life, you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And I'm coming up on 17 years of marriage this year, talking about learning, unlearning, and relearn. Continually learn, continue to unlearn, and continue to relearn. Ask yourself this question. Don't put anything in the chat. I do not want to see you nod your head. I do not want to see you move. Don't even blink at me. Ask yourself this question. When was the last time you stopped using a proven method in your life to risk discovering a better method? That method could be driving. That method could be cooking. When was the last time? I told you, do not blink at me. Do not shake your head. Do not put anything in the chat. When was the last time? Internalize this. When was the last time you stopped using a proven method, something you've done for 20, 30 years, to risk discovering a new method or a better method? When was the last time you did that? That's the key to learning, unlearning, and relearning. It's been a staple in my life since I was probably 17 is when I can remember her saying that consistently to me. Travis, you need to learn, unlearn, and relearn in everything you do. It's been a consistent. And so I constantly have to figure out, okay, I'm good at this now, but there's got to be a better way. It can be better. I'm effective in this area, but I can be even more effective. A year ago, you would have turned your cameras off because you'd have been like, he is the lamest, most boring virtual speaker and presenter I've ever seen. I couldn't stand being on a camera. But I learned a little bit, and then I had to unlearn what I had learned, and then I had to relearn how to get better cameras, get better this, get better that. And I had to learn how to relearn how to become better. Now it's actually fun. I enjoy it. I still want the day where I can come into the room and we can hug one another and we can love on one another and we can physically transfer the hope that we're sharing virtually. But this is what we have right now. And I promise you, as we close this session out, because we're going to be mindful of time, 10 o'clock, hey, 10 o'clock, we're starting the next session. Be prepared for a dynamic session as we lead into this. But do remember this. As we grow, it's not about growing individually. It's about growing collectively. As you receive information like on today, internalize it. Think about how you can make it better. Old saying used to say, hey, take the meat and throw away the bones. Take the meat from this, throw away the bones, and then pass it on to someone else. Be a river, not a reservoir. That's the key. That's all of my time. I appreciate your time. And I promise you, if you stay connected to Career Connectors, we'll see each other at another time. Bree, Jessica, take it away.
Travis, thank you so much. How about like the virtual applause? Woohoo! Oh, you're so good. You gave us so much good stuff to talk about today. And I love this so much because I'm an advocate when it comes to networking, and really that's just building relationships, building friendships. And when people get really creative in their career, the times that either they want to change a career, they want to do something different, or maybe they're young coming out of college and figuring out what they want to do. Or you're happy in your career, but you think, hey, maybe there's something I can do a little different. The conversations that they have with people, those are the changers. Those are the things when you're asking questions, when you're, hey, I'm thinking about this, or what do you think I'm good at? Like those people you can trust, man, they are changers. And I can tell you, it wouldn't be for this program if I didn't have these people working with me, lifting me up, encouraging me, and telling me, hey, try this, do this. Because we have tried so many different things, some great, some not so great, but it's all about the learning. So Travis, you really spoke to me today, and based on all the comments, you spoke to a lot of people today. So thank you. We really, really appreciate it. All right. Hey, Bree, if you could start screen sharing now, we will get on to our next speaker. You guys, we're going to move into a few minutes with Gian Boldy. Let me get my bios up here. Where'd they go? Okay, hang on one second, Gian. Like I could.
You probably don't need my. You can probably just do it off the top of your head.
I know. Seriously, I've known Gian for over 10 years now, but he graduated from ASU with a degree in business management and a certificate in entrepreneurship, and then he began his career in personal finance. This gave him an opportunity to do what he loves, and it's helping people while also using his finance skills. In addition to his degree from ASU, Gian also has a certificate in personal finance planning from UCLA, which he got with distinction. And in each year from 2013 to 18, he has been awarded with the 5-star Financial Professional Award and included in the September issue of Phoenix Magazine. He is very active in the community. He is the treasurer for our board of directors with Career Connectors. We love him so much because he loves numbers, and a lot of us don't. So we need those people around us. And he is so wonderful. And he also serves with the Chandler's Lion Club. He's a volunteer with Fresh Start Women's Foundation and more. He and his wife, Jennifer, have 2 sons, Scott and Grayson, and then also their dogs' names, and Barkley, Figgy, and Fumble, which are my favorite thing ever. So please welcome Gian Boldy.
Thank you, Jessica. Like Jessica said, I've been volunteering with Career Connectors for over 11 years now. So this is always a pleasure when I get to speak to Career Connectors. The only thing that I don't enjoy about speaking at Career Connectors is that I always have to follow someone like Travis, who's, a professional speaker and, has all this great information. So, kind of makes me look bad, but I'll do my best to try and keep the energy up that Travis had and give you guys some good information. So I'm going to go through 10 tips for your finances during career transition. I know, like Jessica said, for some people, talking about the numbers and looking at the numbers in, especially when you're in career transition, can be tough, but hopefully some of these tips will help you get through what could be for some of you a difficult time. So that's what I'm here for. So if we can go to the next slide, tip number 1 is understanding your unemployment benefits. So I'm by no means an expert on unemployment insurance. So when I have questions, I'd suggest going, at least if you're in Arizona, now I guess we've got people from all over. So in Arizona, go to the Department of Economic Security website for the state of Arizona. That's azdes.gov. On there, that's where you can apply for unemployment. You can also appeal a decision for unemployment. So I've run into people that I assumed would get unemployment and didn't, and that I thought wouldn't get it and did. So if you feel like you're rightfully deserving of unemployment, don't be afraid to appeal that decision. Also, I would suggest don't delay applying for unemployment. I've run into people. I had one client, for example, a few years back, who lost his job, and when he had been between jobs in the past, he'd always found a job quickly. So he said, I'm not going to apply. I'll get another job. So 1 month passed, 2 months passed, 3 months passed, 4 months passed. Finally, he applied. And then he got a new job shortly thereafter. So there were months there where he could have been getting the insurance that he deserved, but he didn't apply right away and he didn't get to take advantage of that. So you've been paying the taxes for it. If you feel you're deserving, apply right away. Next slide. Tip number 2, don't forget to keep paying taxes. So just because you're getting unemployment insurance doesn't mean the government doesn't want their cut. If you're not having taxes withheld, I just want you to be aware that you do potentially owe taxes on that. And no one likes to do their taxes at the end of the year and realize that you owe more money than you expected. So just so you're aware, you do owe taxes on unemployment insurance. Next, number 3, there are certain job hunting expenses you can deduct. So I've yet to meet the person, through career connectors or clients of mine or anyone who wants to pay more taxes than they should be paying. So there are certain job hunting expenses you can deduct. So things like mileage to and from an interview, things like if you had cards printed or resumes printed, if anybody prints resumes anymore. Those can all be deducted. So save your receipts on those. Also, if any of you are considering relocating, I think there were some people in the chat talking about relocating to Arizona. So if you moved to a different state and it was for a job to work in the same field, you can deduct those moving expenses, which can be pretty substantial. Next tip number 4, go back to school, advance your skills, learn something new. So that's something you can do at these Career Connectors meetings even. I think we all got some new skills and new perspectives from Travis. So make sure you're using your time wisely to improve yourself and to make yourself a more attractive candidate for that position you want to get. And you always get the question in interviews, what have you been doing while you've been unemployed to other than looking for a job? What a better way to answer that question than saying, I got this certification or I got this skill to help me become a better candidate for this position. Next tip is the option of becoming underemployed. So if you might be looking for a job, doing one thing at some point, if the numbers aren't working out, you might want to take a job in a different field or even a stepping stone job. So if you're looking for an HR director job, maybe you take a job as an HR manager within a target company and work your way into that new position that you're looking for. So that's not necessarily something that you would do right away, but at a certain point, that might be something that you consider. So the first 5 tips are, this is the 6th tip. I jumped ahead of myself. This 6th tip is one of my favorites because it's something everyone can do, and it's budgeting. So we've all heard the saying, penny saved is a penny earned. That's never more true than when you don't have the money coming in that you're used to. So where I recommend people start with this, if you don't already have a written budget, is go back and look at your accounts that you pay your bills out of for the last couple months. Take a look, see where the money's going, and then you can kind of categorize it. There are a lot of budgeting spreadsheets out there, but you can even I personally just use an Excel spreadsheet. Make sure you have a column for what you budgeted, and then at the end of the month, what you actually spent. That way you can continue to adjust it if what you actually spent was different. And also, if you feel like you need to cut expenses, it's hard to do that in an educated manner if you don't know where all your money's going. And a lot of us can fall into that trap where we know we don't have money at the end of the month, but we don't know exactly where it all went. So this will help you with that. Tip number 7. So the first 6 were a little bit more easy to implement. The next 3 are a little bit more challenging. So if you have questions on those and you think those might be a fit for me, I'll be here at the end and you can talk about your situation with me in the breakout. So typically you can't take money out of a retirement account unless you're 59 and a half or over without paying a penalty. And again, nobody wants to pay more money to the government than they have to. But if you're 55 to 59 and a half, you can do what is called Rule 72T. IRS has a lot of rules, but most of their rules also have exceptions. And this is one of those exceptions. So if you're between 55 and 59 and a half, and you agree to take out the same amount of money for 5 years and until you reach 70 and a half, you can do that without paying the penalty. So tip number 8, if you need to purchase health insurance. So if you had that moment where you got the COBRA bill and you saw, oh, wow, this health insurance is really expensive. And it seems that like each year it keeps getting more and more expensive, but it's important for you to keep that. One option would be taking funds from your IRA to pay those funds, to pay those bills. So that's specific to IRA, that's not 401k. But that might be beneficial because health insurance is definitely an important thing that a lot of us want to make sure we continue even when we're looking for a job. Next tip, number 9. So you can reverse a contribution you made to an IRA. So let's say I made a contribution today, maxed out my IRA, put in $6,000 or $7,000, depending on how old you are. And then I lose my job and I think, oh, wow, I could really use that as an emergency fund or as to bolster my emergency fund. You can reverse it, take that money back. And then if you find a job, a month from now, you can put that money back in, some or all of that money back in, and there's no penalties for that. So that's another option to give yourself a little bit more financial flexibility. So those are the first 9. The last tip, I say this for last because it's both the easiest thing to do and the hardest thing to do, depending on how you look at it, and that's ask for help. So there's points we all have in our life when we can use a helping hand. I know I've been there. I'm sure, many of you have been there. And like I said, I've been volunteering with Career Connectors for over 10 years. And this is a place that has a lot of people that are willing to help you. So whether that's asking myself, for financial tips in the breakout, or asking, someone else here for resume advice or career coaching or any of those things. Or it could be even asking, a friend to listen to you vent or to help you with some mock interviewing, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to ask, because people do want to help you. And the worst thing that can happen is they say no, and you're in the same position you were before. So ask for help. I know people here at Career Connectors want to help you, and I look forward to speaking to some of you during the breakouts. Thank you for the 10 minutes, Jessica.
Thank you, Gian. Thank you for always being so great and walking us through that. So Gian will be available to chat with at the end if you would like as well. Okay, Laura Lynn Smith, we'd like to bring you onto the call. Laura Lynn is the Division Vice President with ADP, the Tempe location. And she is responsible for the engagement and productivity of the teams in the office, along with providing opportunities for career growth and development, as well as community outreach. And then under her leadership, strong partnerships have been created to make a difference within the greater Phoenix area with educational institution, veterans, children's support centers, the LGBTQ community groups, and several diversity groups. So ADP does a lot around the diversity initiatives. She's also a board member with the Greater Phoenix Chamber of Commerce, the Greater Phoenix Chamber of Commerce Foundation, the ASU Career and Professional Development, and Grand Canyon University Board of Business Advisory Board. She has participated in a number of speaking engagements and has a passion around women's leadership and the diversity and inclusion. So she joined ADP in 1994 and has over 25 years of experience. So she might know a little bit about ADP and what their needs are. Laura Lynn relocated to Arizona in 2017 from Southern Cal with her husband and 2 children. And then in her spare time, she enjoys traveling with her family and watching her children play competitive soccer and baseball. Welcome, Laura Lynn. Good to see you.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And I'm thrilled to be here to meet with all of you and share some great information about ADP. I have been with ADP, as Jessica mentioned, I'm going on 28 years. And the company is just fantastic to work for. It's a very progressive company. We are a technology oriented company. We do provide a number of different services to the business community that I will go into a little bit deeper. But we also have an amazing culture. And the reason why I've stayed at ADP for so many years is because we're constantly innovative, growing, but the people are amazing. We have just such great people that live by our values. We have a number of core values, one of which that I love the most is each person counts. And that really resonates not only with our teams, but our leadership as well. So if we can just go to the next slide, I'll walk you through a little bit more about ADP. So ADP started in 1949. So we've been around for, actually we're now up to 73 years. And we just heard that for the 16th consecutive year in a row, we have been named Fortune Magazine, one of the world's most admired companies. And what do? We provide services to employers for their employees from hiring all the way through retiring. So if you think about, getting paid, needing to have your taxes processed, talent management, getting performance reviews, retirement plans, ADP offers solutions to business owners around all of those different areas. Jessica, we can go ahead and move forward to the next slide. I mentioned a little bit about, the culture at ADP, and there's definitely a lot of industry recognition that we've received around, being a great company, a wonderful place to work for women, diversity, admired companies just in terms of our integrity, strong compensation. We are regularly recognized by the LGBTQ community for, a great place to work. The Human Rights Campaign has recognized us as a leader in that area. So really a lot of different accolades, but what I think is really great is our associates regularly tell us, through various methods, surveys, feedback, connection with leaders, how amazing of a company it is really to work for, and how much of an amazing inclusive culture we have at our company. You can go ahead and move forward to the next role. So there's a lot of benefits of working at ADP. I talked a little bit about the culture, very strong teamwork. I think if one of the great areas that we focus on is winning as one. And I've had conversations with, some newer associates who have come from other industries and other companies that have said, when they talk about the culture at ADP being inclusive and supportive and winning as one, they really mean it. Like, I felt that at ADP. Other companies that I've worked at, maybe not so much. There was a lot of maybe stepping on each other in order to get ahead, but at ADP, there truly is a win as one culture, a very inclusive culture. There's a lot of career growth opportunities at ADP. In our Tempe location, we have multiple different business units, multiple different opportunities, and I'll talk a little bit about those more in just a moment. But a lot of strong recognition. ADP, it does have a very strong brand in the marketplace as well, which is great. And then there's so many benefits financially, for working with ADP, and also so many benefits as a person, whether it be, 401k, stock, the medical benefits, the health benefits, but also tuition reimbursement. There's pay for knowledge bonuses, wellness initiatives, so many different programs, available to all of our associates at ADP. So let's talk a little bit, if we can go forward, about all of the different open positions. Very easy to find. I know we've got people from across the country, and we do have openings across the country. ADP is a global organization. We operate, or we do business with clients in 144 countries, and we operate globally. So definitely a number of positions across the United States. So if you are not in Arizona, if you just click on jobs.adp.com, and you can actually do a location search for open positions near where you are. For those of you in Arizona, if you type in jobs.adp.com/location/Arizona, you'll see all the positions open, not only in our Tempe office, but we also do have an office down in Tucson. We have a number of open positions, implementation, client service, sales, and leadership. And our client service and implementation teams, just want to touch a little bit on those. Those positions are very strongly focused, working with our clients, helping support them, answering questions about the technology, about their payroll, about their benefits. It's a very consultative type of approach with our clients. We are not a call center, if you will, where it's call and ask questions about, a balance or a transaction reversal. It truly is more of having a dialogue with the clients, consulting, advising, helping support them. So those are our open positions that we have available. And if we go to the next slide, feel free to reach out to me. I am on LinkedIn. So Laura Lynn Smith on LinkedIn, but I did put my email address, and then our talent acquisition business partner, Ashley Vella, is available as well. And I do look forward to chatting with many of you in the breakout sessions. And Jessica, thanks again for the opportunity, and look forward to having further discussions.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you so much, Laura Lynn. I also dropped in the URL for their positions. And she mentioned something about LinkedIn, and I didn't do this today. And so I want to make sure that anyone that's on the call, you guys can connect with each other through LinkedIn. And so if you can go to your LinkedIn browser, or go to your browser and go to LinkedIn. And if you go to your profile page, a lot of times you can just get there by clicking on your picture. Then you can just drop your LinkedIn URL in there. Thank you, Kitty. You can just drop your LinkedIn URL in there, and then we can connect with each other. So a lot of the speakers that come on here utilize LinkedIn a lot, and so do most all recruiters do as well. So I encourage you all to connect with each other. Just drop your URLs in there and we will connect with you. All right. So now moving on to a new company that we haven't had out before. Sonia Morgan is here, and she is with Mark Anthony Brewing Incorporated as the Director of People Operations for the new Glendale Greenfield manufacturing facility that opened in April of 2020. And prior to joining MAB, that's a short name, Sonia worked for Leclerc Foods in Phoenix as a U.S. Operations Senior Director of Human Resources. And so she oversaw recruiting, onboarding, succession planning across their 4 manufacturing locations. She was also at the Barnes Group as an HR manager for in the 19 years at TRW. She holds a master's degree of art in human resource management from Webster University, as well as a PHR and SPHR, which are HR certifications. And Sonia, we are so thrilled to have you out here. Welcome, Sonia Morgan.
All right, well, thank you guys very much for having me out here. As she mentioned, this is my first time speaking here. So if I stumble on myself, just we'll go with the flow. But thanks, Career Connectors, for letting me talk on behalf of Mark Anthony. Something my background didn't say is I've actually been manufacturing since I was 18 years old, and actually started my career out as a second shift temporary employee working on the production line making airbags. So I've gotten to see everything from the ground up. But have been out here with Mark Anthony since April of 2020, which has been pretty amazing. So the picture you're seeing on that screen is really not even our fully finished facility out here, but we are now up and running with 4 manufacturing lines, 2 variety pack lines, brewery, as well as a fully automated warehouse with laser guided vehicles. So it's pretty phenomenal. Our products, I'm sure you're seeing the icons across the screen there and probably know them. Mike's, Mike's Harder, White Claw, Cayman Jacks. We've got a new one we're piloting out here in Arizona called Ray Azul. But we are the 4th largest brewery in the US, which is pretty amazing because we're also a Canadian family owned company. So we are a small player in a big pond, but we're definitely holding our own. And just a quick history, our company up until about the end of 2019, we had been working with co-manufacturers up to this point. And Anthony Von Mendel, our founder, actually took money from the company and invested. So all of our land that has been purchased, including the Rose Farm across the way from us, our Columbia facility, as well as our Hillside, was all developed and purchased with cash investment, not investors. But our production lines here, we can actually do 1,500 cans per minute. Our facility size is just shy of 1 million square feet. So it's pretty amazing. We are currently a 24/5 operation. And as you'll learn, we've got to staff up another 100 positions here, both from a professional all the way to, those that are really making it happen and the plant floor, from packaging, warehouse, and brewery. So I'll go ahead and go to the next slide. So why Mark Anthony? So I mentioned in 2019 is when we really began growing our business as our business. So unlike ADP, we as a company haven't been around for many years, but what makes it cool is we're really developing the culture now. So this it's so people centric. It's amazing. Similar to other speakers, I've gotten the opportunity to work in large organizations, public traded companies, and being able to join Mark Anthony and really be able to develop that culture from the ground up and really making it about people. Even from, when Anthony von Mendel was down here and looking at the land, and he said, I want to make sure that it's comfortable working here. So our product doesn't require climate controlled, but one of the first things that was done was put AC units all across the top of our facility to make it climate controlled year round. So around the summertime, about 85 degrees inside the facility. I mean, you can't see it, but we even have like covered parking in the parking lot. So those that know Arizona know that our dashboards, become ovens. So it's nice to be able to park under covered. We actually have an on-site gym, again, about health and wellness and people. Our pay and benefits, extremely competitive. We're a Canadian family-owned company, so our benefits more fall in line in that how do we take care of our people. So it's pretty cool in that regard, from PTO, sick time, parental leave programs, 401k with match. Our break room was set up with, fresh markets so that, pretty much every option's in there to select from. And then in regards to the facility itself, there's really been no expense spared when it comes to technology. These lines are the first to have inline variety pack, which has its own unique challenges and opportunities. So a lot of automation within the facility. But it's about investing in our people, the training, the development, and building that all from scratch. So that has its unique challenges as well. But what's really cool about the people here is the perseverance and really that camaraderie that we have, and seeing our facility go from a rose field to a world-class operation, and we're doing it together. We can go next slide. So lots of positions that we're hiring for. So I just put 10 on the next two slides of some of our professional positions. But as I mentioned, we are actually hiring over 100 positions to get us fully staffed for 24/7 operation. And we can go to the next slide because there's one I'm going to point out. So you can see that my position, People Operations Director, is on there. You might go, well, where are you going? I'm staying right here with Mark Anthony. I actually met with my boss a couple months back, and I said, we really need, focus on training and development in the supply chain. So as soon as I can backfill my position, I'm transitioning to be able to support the training and development for the organization. But that just kind of gives you an idea of how open the communication, the innovation that we have, not just from our products, but with our people, and really wanting to make sure that we've got the right things in place to really be world class. And we can go to the next slide because I'm sure you guys can hear the planes overhead right now, because we are actually in the West Valley. We're about a half mile off the 303. So it's quite an up and coming area, but we're also not far from where the jets fly by. But all of our positions are posted on mabrewing.com/careers. Our location, like I said, we're near 303 in Northern. You can also contact me directly with my email address. And I don't know if we're able to play that video, but just to see if that'll work. Oh, it's a link up top there. There you go. Maybe, maybe not.
Yeah, we can embed it into the event recap and then
Okay.
also shoot it out afterwards if it doesn't play.
Awesome.
She might have it coming up.
Mark Anthony Brewing is proud to present the largest, most advanced brewery built in the United States in the past 25 years. The Mark Anthony Glendale, Arizona Brewery. At the new flagship facility of the fourth largest brewer in the United States, we know what it takes to brew success. our premier family of brands reflect the incredible people who make them. A passionate, best-in-class team, one that thrives and takes pride in a hardworking, fun, and safe environment. Our state-of-the-art facility has the ingredients to keep you on the cutting edge of innovation, and the ability to produce some of the most iconic premium brands in the market. At Mark Anthony Brewing, we strive to create a work experience unlike any other. At Mark Anthony Brewing, we bring flavor to life.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. And again, look forward to being able to chat with everyone in the breakout sessions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Sonia. Man, you have some really great positions out there and available for people. And I know that area of the outside of Phoenix, well, Phoenix area is exploding. And so I know there's a ton of even homes going up out there. It's just really on fire. So we're excited you guys are here. Thanks for being with us today. All right, you guys. So a couple more things for us while we close this out. If you have any feedback for us or you'd like to see another company or maybe a topic, just shoot us a note at contact@careerconnectors.org. And we'll take your feedback. We incorporate it into what we're doing and what we're learning. And I just want to say, briefly could slip to slide 38. I want to thank all of our community partners and corporate partners. And so some of them are on the line today and other ones are financial supporters. And so thank you guys so much for everything you do to help our program and expand through our community. All right, you guys, if you are interested in taking a DISC assessment, we have one through a partnership with Top Talent Consulting, and it doesn't cost you anything. The DISC will have some insight on it around your strengths, your ideal work environment, your communication style. And so a lot of times people will integrate this into their resume because it has some great soft skills listed in there or in your interviewing process. So it's a good tool for you to just learn a little bit about yourself if you've never taken one. So go ahead and we'll drop that link in. Joey, if you could drop that link in, and then we will, you can take it, and it's also out on our website. Oh, thank you, Jerry. Jerry did the DISC assessment, easy to do. It takes about 15 minutes, and it had a good summary as well. Okay, the event recap blog. So we are blogging today. I'm actually blogging, and I've reached out to a couple of you that were taking notes today, and thank you for sending me your notes. I really appreciate it. I'm not our normal blogger, and so I'm going to put all that together, and then we'll have that posted out onto our website in the next couple days. And then you can connect with us on any of the social media platforms. We are available and can chat with you there. We post information. We have some content around jobs as well. All right, so we have some really cool stuff coming up on the next slide. So next Thursday in the Southwest Valley and the Phoenix metro area, we are doing a huge career fair. And this career event is going to have over 20 companies. So the areas that we're featuring are advanced manufacturing and distribution, healthcare, technology, and also construction. Those 5 areas are absolutely on fire in the Southwest Valley. And so it's going to be more of a virtual career fair where you join the event, you register. Some of you may have already registered. You register for the event, then you have the option of uploading your resume and some information about yourself. And then at the event for 2 hours, all of the recruiters and hiring managers are going to be in 20 different rooms, and you're going to be able to pop around and actually do one-on-one conversations with them. Some of the employers are booking interviews right there on the spot. And so we have hundreds of remote positions at this event. So even though it's focused on employers that are in the Southwest Valley and the Phoenix South area, they have remote positions too. So I encourage you to jump on that call next week and just kind of jump around and talk to all the employers to see what kind of opportunities are available. And then on Thursday, February 24th, we're going to be doing the Great Career Shuffle. And we'll have DES out, Arizona Nutritional Supplements, and the Entrepreneur Source. And then Thursday, March 3rd, we're going to do Driving Your Career Forward, and that's Liberty Mutual 1.1 and Dexcom. So all of those can go, you can find those on our event page. Okay, so here's a little bit more information about the career fair. Thank you, Joey, for dropping the link in. It's over 20, we have over 22 companies now. You click on that link and it will take you right to the registration page. And so again, hundreds of jobs across all of these industries, and it's a partnership that we have done with Avondale, Buckeye, and the city of Goodyear. All right. Also, this is our homepage for our website. You can see the event registration tool right, or a link right in the middle. And then on the right-hand side, you see event recaps. Well, what we do with this program is we've been recording the speakers today, and we will download this and post it under the event recap section, the event recording section. And you can come back to this if you'd ever like to review. Maybe you need a little jolt of encouragement from Travis again. We have had some phenomenal speakers, and all of that is posted on our website from the last 2 years from all these virtual events. So you can go back and look at any of them. And so I encourage you to do that if you're looking for some encouragement or some resources. Now, thank you to our volunteers. You guys are awesome. We really appreciate all of you. One of the positions we're looking to fill more of is our event recap writers, because I'm not the best at these, and I'm doing it today while I'm trying to manage. So we would love anyone that's interested in writing and might like to attend an event once a month and write a recap for us. And so if you're interested, just shoot us a note. Jessica@careerconnectors.org. You can shoot me directly. Joey just dropped in our direct link to our volunteer page where you fill out a short form, and then we can get you moving along. All right, you guys, so Career Connectors is a 501c3 nonprofit, and running this program, it takes about $42 per person that we serve. And so when you land or at any time you want to support Career Connectors, we greatly appreciate it. Bree, it's on the next page if you want to flip. And we have, one more. We have our website that's for donations. You can go straight there and donate to us, and so we can continue spreading the word. Again, our goal is in the next 5 years, our goal and our growth is in the next 5 years, we will be hitting 1 million people. And so that is really shaking us up on how we're doing things and how we're reaching people. So it's not just a goal, it is a growth, because we have to look and act differently than we ever have before. And even though that's what we're doing, I didn't set it, our board together set this, because we know we can help people transform, and we do want to be hope dealers. And so I love that word language. We've always said the word hope dealers, and I hope that you all felt that today while you were here. And so we are getting ready to go into the breakout rooms. So if you want to flip, thank you, Bree. This is the list of breakout rooms. Oh, go back one more. This is the list of breakout rooms we have today. And so Travis will have his room. Gian will have a room to talk about finances. Laura Lynn from ADP and Sonia will from Mark Anthony Brewing will each have a room. We also have coaches here today. And so if you'd like to get your resume reviewed, Jerry Hurd Dutcher is in one room as a resume reviewer. Brenda Cunningham is in another room. Here's the deal, you guys. These ladies are not just someone who can give you their opinion. They are certified professional resume writers. This is what they do for a profession. Continual, every year they're recertified, and they learn and they research this stuff. They're experts at how you present yourself, and they're experts at understanding how to get through the applicant tracking systems appropriately so your resume can actually get eyeballs on it. So go talk to Jerry, go talk to Brenda. They will give you great advice. Kitty is here today as our LinkedIn reviewer. And so if you would like your LinkedIn profile looked at, she's a phenomenal writer and can help you capture that on your LinkedIn profile. Or if you have any questions about the functionality of LinkedIn, how to connect, that kind of stuff. Tom Carr is our career coach today. Tom has hired hundreds and hundreds of people. He's really great if you want to ask some interview questions, anything like that. He's here. And then of course, Gian is here. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to show you a short video, and the video is just going to walk you through how to connect to a breakout room and then we will launch into the breakout rooms.
Okay, when a host opens breakout rooms, allowing participants to choose which one to go in, down in your toolbar, you're going to see the breakout room icon pop up like this. And a little message says join a breakout room. That goes away in a second, but you can still click breakout rooms and it'll show you the list of available rooms. I just left it room 123 right now, but it will have the type of coaching available in each room. So let's say you want to go into room 1, you hover there and then move your mouse over to the right, and the number there will turn to the word join. Click join. It'll ask you, do you want to join room 1? Say yes, and it'll send you to room 1. Now, once you're in the room, you can see who's here by clicking participants at the bottom. You can chat with the people by typing. Obviously, you can also speak, unmute yourself and speak. And then when you're done in that room, you can click the blue leave room button. It'll give you 2 choices, leave meeting or leave breakout room. Leave meeting kicks you all the way out of the Zoom session. So you want to leave the breakout room. It'll send you back to the main session.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bree. Okay, so when we launch here in just a second, I want you to be aware of something that recently happened with Zoom. So if you are in a room and you want to leave and go to another room, if you don't see that leave room option, that probably means you don't have the latest version of Zoom. That's totally okay. Hit the leave meeting and then just pop back into the meeting. And that will bring you to the main room again, and we can help you get to another room if you need it. If you have any problems, if you aren't really sure how to do all this, just stay in the main lobby and we will help get you to the rooms you need. So thank you guys. We are so honored that you have been with us today. We are praying for each of you that you land into the career of your dreams. Thank you so much. And Bree, if you could go ahead and get those rooms going, this would be perfect timing. Awesome. All right, speakers should be going into their rooms. You may have to join if it didn't go automatically. And then everyone else, you should also see now the breakout rooms at the bottom, and you are welcome to start joining those rooms. If you aren't sure, then feel free to unmute yourself and tell us where you'd like to go, or drop it in the chat and we can help get you to that room. All right, people are going. Good. How you doing, Bree?
Good. Yes, going good.
You might have to go get a drink after this. But you did it. We did it with minimal disruption or anything.
Yes. Oh, wait.
So our ladies, real quick, our Arturo and there he goes. Our Arturo says not joined.